Hi, this is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk about my favorite momentum stocks that I'm trading this week. Now, make sure you stick around till the end of this. I've got two new names I'm sure you haven't heard of that are quite interesting. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified, if you like these kind of videos about momentum stocks that I'm trading, and you want to be notified about the next stock that I'm trading. So I should begin really with the context of the market here. We're in sort of typical August, September choppy summer trading. You can see the S&P is sort of stuck between a range of 280 and 300, currently trading below the 50-day moving average line. So not the best environment for momentum stocks. Not entirely bad, but just so you know, when you're trading momentum stocks in August particularly, it's a good idea to keep things a little size a little bit smaller and have a little bit tighter stops. You can see that we're having a lot of red today, just almost everything down with a few green marks like Amgen, for example. But there's been really a flight to quality as part of this. And some of the momentum names that we've been talking about in the past have become sort of safe haven names and have done very well. And I would expect them to continue to do well. McDonald's would be the first one, MCD. Still trading. You can see for these momentum stocks, we want to see the stock trading above the 50-day moving average, this blue line here, and the 50-day moving average above the red line. So McDonald's is a really nice one that's just benefiting from some secular trends. For example, Uber Eats and Grubhub, and they're really transforming themselves into more of a tech company. Another safe haven, Starbucks. Starbucks gapped up on earnings, has been sort of trading sideways. I think this is still a very strong name, even in this kind of market. And if you want something a little more aggressive, you can take the Chinese version of it, Luckin Coffee, which is the ticker is LK. This is a new IPO trading near the top of its range, pulling back today. But if we can get this one trading above 27, I think it could really run, especially if the market recovers from here. Chipotle was another one on our list. We've been trading. A lot of you made a lot of money on this one. Congratulations. For a lot of these, you can use this 50-day moving average as your trailing stop. Maybe a little tighter stop in August, you could use the 20-day moving average. These names, I would say McDonald's, Starbucks, Chipotle, also very good long-term holdings, in my opinion. Again, this is more of what I'm trading and investing in. It's certainly not an investment recommendation. You got to do a reality check to see what kind of volatility and risk you can handle. Roku is another one, just performing really well even in this weak market environment. Gapped up after earnings and has been running now, currently trading above 130 ROKU. Shopify, SHOP, another one had a very good run here. This one could easily continue to 400, especially if this market turns around. And while I'm at it, I should mention that Roku, Shopify, some of these high momentum NASDAQ names are also very good to trade with options. I have a course on this, swing trading with options. I'll stick a link in the notes below in case anyone's interested about that. Continuing on with momentum names, CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, now called CME Group. This really benefits the more people are trading futures. So even in a bear market, if there's a lot of hedging going, a lot of futures trading, CME can do well. And you can see we're trading close here to, I believe it's all-time highs, yeah. So this is one to benefit just from volume growth on the exchanges. Next, we come to one that was recommended by one of my students, Overstock, OSTK. This one is interesting, definitely one to keep an eye on. It's been in a long-term downtrend, very quirky CEO, some interest in crypto as well. But you can see that this one is getting close to a turnaround. So this is one that I wouldn't quite enter yet, but you can see that the 50-day moving average is getting ready to cross above the 200-day moving average. We've had a nice bottoming motion here, a recovery, kind of a thrust up. And so this is one to watch, especially if we can get this 50-day moving average crossing above the 200-day moving average. So that's one I would put on the back burner. Anyway, thank you to Brandon for that one. Then a couple names from past shows that have done well. EHTH. This is another one that a lot of you have made a lot of money on. Just swing trading this using the 50-day moving average as a trailing stop has been very nice. It seems to be sort of consolidating here, encountered some resistance at 110, but still trading quite strong, especially in this sort of tape. Another one, Plan, Anaplan, Plan. This has a very similar chart. You can see close to all-time new highs. Another tech company to keep an eye on. Again, you can trade this one using the 50-day moving average. COUP, another software company. This one pulling back to the 50-day moving average line. As it gets closer, an interesting trade might be to buy it somewhere right around the 50-day moving average and looking for a bounce. If you don't get that bounce, then you can exit very close to the 50-day moving average. So that's COUP. And then we've got a couple medical equipment, healthcare stocks. ResMed is one we've talked about before. Again, trading near the highs. RMD. This is a very, very interesting one. It looks like the institutions are accumulating this on this market weakness, only down 18 cents, and this kind of tape is quite impressive. And then another one is another medical equipment stock, Inspire, INSP, medical equipment, and these make sleep monitoring equipment. And you can see this one is another one that's trading right near that 50-day moving average. And so it's another, the risk reward on this is looking quite good. You can see it's forming it formed a nice long wick here today. The people bought it when it traded below the 50-day moving average. So this is a nice one one can trade. I think it's a very good long-term holding as well. Very volatile, but it's got very good long-term prospects. Or you can do it as a trade and basically sell on a close below the 50-day moving average. Then we move on to gold and silver, which we've talked about. GLD is the ETF, the ticker for the gold trust. This breaking out to new highs after gapping twice, just very, very strong. If you prefer silver, SLV, it's also trading quite well. These are zero yield assets that do very well in a low interest rate environment, or an environment where the Fed's getting ready to lower rates even more and print more money. And so these are two I think these are really benefiting from a lot of long-term secular trends. And I would add Bitcoin to this. Bitcoin, the chart isn't quite as good looking, but that's another one that I'm quite interested in and I've been accumulating. If you check out my website, you can follow along with my crypto trading there. Then finally, the two most interesting names I discovered this week, QTWO, QT Holdings. This one just looking amazingly strong. Had a nice run up after reporting earnings, and is just really hanging out there at the highs being accumulated. Again, trading above the 50-day moving average, and 50-day moving average above the 200-day moving average. And it's a very nice sideways motion here. This is the kind of thing you'd expect. Really strong stocks, when there's a market pullback, they may trade sideways, not sell off very much. And then on the next leg up, if there's any market strength, these can really run. And these are kind of more unknown names, which I also like, not as crowded of trades. So that's QTWO, QT Holdings. And finally, SEDG. This is in the one of the solar stocks. Solar's been performing really well. You can search around, but I think this is probably one of the stronger names. If you guys are following any other stocks that you think we should know about, let's sort of pool our knowledge here. Drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you're trading. But these are the names that I'm trading and looking at accumulating. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions about how I'm selecting these, or if you'd like to contribute some stocks of your own, so we can sort of share the knowledge. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.